Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Are you looking for some powerful ways to eliminate anxiety before bed? Some practical tips that isn't the usual boring advice of take a warm bath or read a book? Then this episode is for you. We're going to give some quick tips and tricks to help you eliminate anxiety before bedtime because the good news is anxiety before bed can be successfully overcome. Often, through simple habitual changes, we can end the cycle of anxiety before bedtime and begin getting that kind of sleep we've always wanted. So, let's go straight to it. First powerful way to eliminate anxiety before bed is to take deep, relaxing breaths, especially when you are the most anxious. Science shows that taking deep, relaxing breaths can actually calm your nervous system and put us into something called alpha brainwave state. And when we're in that brainwave state, it decreases our overall bodily tension, eases our anxiety. It even is shown to improve the quality of our sleep. So when you start noticing yourself starting to worry, or maybe tense up, or start getting apprehensive about bedtime, take several slow, deep breaths in a row. Do that by breathing in through your nose for the count of 4 and exhale through pursed lips if you can for as long as it feels comfortable. Try and aim for the out breath to be about twice as long as your in breath. So that's the first tip. Second tip is to write down your worries. When fear shows up, it usually runs familiar tracks in your mind all day. It can be hard to simply let them go. But to stop that cycle of chronic worrying, write down your fear in a journal or even use the Notes app on your phone. What's the worst that could happen? Write that down. What is more likely to happen, optimistically? And what can you do to improve the situation? If you answer those 3 things about the worry that you have in your journal or on your phone, when you reflect on those fears, they will lose their power over you, and thus it will be so much easier and nicer to get to sleep. The next tip is to eliminate stimulation of all sorts before bedtime. If your sleep is really bad, and you're talking you're not getting enough good quality sleep and you're sleeping very little hours, it can often be because our anxiety is getting a second wind, so to speak, in the late evenings. We might feel a sense of resurgence, which leads to watching stimulating films or scrolling mindlessly on social media or watching some favourite sports thing. If you eliminate those things, or at least aim to drastically reduce them, you will find it a lot easier to get to bed. So try and limit the stimulation that you have. I know some of you may think this is boring, but if you're not sleeping, your health is way more important than temporarily feeling bored. When you eliminate the stimulation, eventually it will not feel boring. You'll be replacing it with other things that you enjoy that are not as stimulating. And the next tip to help yourself sleep, which is an unusual one, but my clients tell me this is one of the best tips, is laugh at your fears. I'm sure you've heard the saying that laughter is the best medicine. This actually has lots of scientific to support it. Laughter reduces tension, it changes our blood pressure, and it leads us to a new interpretation over what we are so highly focused on that leads to that anxiousness before bed. Being able to laugh at yourself helps create wiggle room in how you respond to things, how you think of things, the stories that you tell yourself. Just being able to step outside of ourselves enough to laugh at how intense we're being or how ridiculous our fear might be. It's okay to laugh at ourselves. We can all do these things. Nothing to be ashamed of. If you've got any other personal tips that work for you, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you next time.